evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Gooner Gathering. We are doing a live stream for the first time, it seems, in absolutely ages. We hope you're all doing well. I am Gooner Lee Meadows, the founding father of Gooner Gathering, joined by the poshest and probably most controversial man in sports entertainment today, Posh Bertie. There he is. Hello.
Well, if Donald Trump can come back, I'm doing good, thank you. And it's very good to see me back on the channel, seeing
it's
myself
great to see you
on the stream here. It's very nice. And yes, in the words of, I forgot who sung it. It's been a while since I was last back. And yeah, as you can tell, I'm raring and ready to go. Definitely not really tired.
Definitely not. And me neither, to be fair. That's kind of one of the reasons why these live streams have sort of disappeared over the last little while. It's this little thing called life. It's been busy. I mean, I'll address it a little bit. You know, it had been mentioned on some of the streams. My blossoming music career, everybody. Huh? Can you believe that? I know. I was shocked too. Over the last, maybe 2 months or something, I've been doing gigs just down the local. Everyone knows the Gardeners up this way. And we've been doing open mic night and it's been really fun. But unfortunately, due to budget cuts, it's kind of been curtailed a little bit for now. But it's all good. Gives us a chance to do some more Gooner Gathering stuff.
Well, there are rumours going around that you're going to be going for Christmas #1 this year. Can you confirm or deny?
I can neither confirm or deny them reports. Keep your eye on twitch.tv/Gooner Gathering. That's all I'm saying on that one. If I decide to go big time, that's where you'll see it. What have you been up to apart from kicking up a stir on Twitter and stuff, mate?
Well, I've been pretty much doing various things. I tell you something I'm looking forward to, which is next week, is, as some of you know, my Pedro Wanless, as he's known in the chat if he appears, Mr. Wanless Senior, is stepping down from his job after 11 years, and I've been, along with other people, have been organising his big old knees up of a leaving party, and that's next Thursday. So it's all been sorted, and yeah, I can't wait for that. And I will know if we end up doing a preview for the Arsenal game the day after. I will warn you, I might be quite hungover, so I will warn you on that one.
Excellent. Well, if that's prior to the Forest game, right? That'll be something to look forward to. I mean, I'm teetotal myself, so I wouldn't know about these sort of things. Yes. Anyhow, I think we should probably get down to business. Let's start with, obviously, the Chelsea game that happened over the weekend. I think probably the headline to bring up first and foremost, as Amy's disappearing and going into the other bed. There she is. She's like a cat, she is. She goes from one position to the next. Do you know what it is?
If only I had Laurie or Hetty with me.
Do you know what it is? It's because the pictures have just started on Sky Sports Plus for Colchester United against Arsenal under-21s. And she wants a closer look at that. So you want to know a bit about that? That'll be coming up on a video, hopefully tomorrow, by Emerson. So headline news out of Sunday really was the return of the skipper. And my goodness, have we missed him? Martin Ødegaard came into the side. Otherwise, I think it was pretty unchanged. Obviously, it was Trossard who was missing out. We'll get to him in a bit. Raya in goal, White, Saliba, Gabriel and Timber. Already mentioned Ødegaard. Thomas Partey and Declan Rice. Saka, Havertz and Martinelli in the starting 11. Now, I will ask you this, just as a general, I felt it was much easier watching Arsenal with Ødegaard there because I think he's so influential. It just made such a difference on just how the game flowed for me. Did you agree with this?
It definitely. Sorry if you can hear a sound in the background. By the way, it's a mixture of my laptop frying up and my laptop cooler
Okay.
also in action. So apologies if you can hear some what sounds like a sound in the background. But yeah, it did make somewhat of a difference watching Odegaard. We were a bit more fast paced than normal. Yes, good to see Sam Wilson in the chat as well. Granted, it's not been saying a lot considering the way we've been playing recently.
Yeah.
And yes, I did notice a difference when Odegaard was in the team. What I think people are getting a bit too carried away, like he's going to be our Lord and Savior that's going to save our season. Because whilst, yes, I did notice a difference, the results and similarly, kind of how we've played have kind of stayed the same. And I warned people that just because Odegaard's going to be back doesn't mean we're going to stop with all of the aspects of the negative tactics. If you remember the game against Man United last season, it was a very boring game. We had about 95% of our squad was fit. Odegaard was playing, and we were playing rather boringly. So that's why I argue it's a tactical choice rather than us missing one player. But that being said, I did notice somewhat of a change when Odegaard was in, and I thought that being said, he is much needed, and I'm pleased that he's back.
I'll say this as well with Odegaard. I wouldn't expect miracles off him straight away.
Yeah.
It's been nice to see him back in the fold over the last couple of games. He had a cameo in the Champions League when he replaced the stricken Havertz, didn't he? And obviously straight into the starting 11, played the whole game as well. Yes, he had a bit of a difference. He certainly had a part to play in the goal, which we'll talk about. But I'm also on him as well, just to confirm he is not going out on international duty. It's been confirmed that he's not going to be linking up with Norway. A quote from Odegaard himself: he is actually going to listen to his body and just take it easy on the comeback, which I think is a common sense thing, right? You know, the last thing we need, and the last thing he needs, is another spell on the sidelines if he picks up another injury like he did in the international break last time.
Yes, he's listening to his body. Whenever I listen to my body, all I hear is "feed me." So I don't know what.
All right back. Oh dear.
There it is. I wish I was as jacked as Ryback. It's the opposite.
More Nickelback.
Odegaard's not on international duty, and neither is Saka nor Rice.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I did a little short video yesterday talking about that, and amongst 8 off the top of my head that have withdrawn from the England camp, whether that some of them are precautionary or whether some of them are genuine injuries. I'll be honest with you. I'm a little fearful of the Saka and Rice one, because at 1-1 at the bridge, you wouldn't be replacing your best players, in my opinion. We know Rice had been struggling with a toe issue.
Yeah,
and he missed the Champions League game
during the Inter game.
That's exactly what I said. Yeah, so whether he aggravated something or whatever it is, I'm not sure. The Saka one, I feel, is either pulled a calf muscle or a hamstring muscle. Amy's got the hiccups. So yes, I'm on daddy duty as well, ladies and gentlemen. So I have to monitor these things. I might have to get the girl a drink in a minute. But oh, it's joyful. We need hands and bodies everywhere. Right. Let's try and get into the match analysis as brief as we can get it. I'll cover a few of the key points. Some people were saying how quiet Cole Palmer was in the game. Well, he warmed Reyes. He did warm Reyes' hands quite early in the game, didn't he? With a long range drive that Raya tipped over. That was a warning shot, I felt.
Yeah, he also had 2 unusually poor free kicks that went straight at the wall. I think both times I was thinking, oh God, we've got to be careful here, because we've seen him take some banger of free kicks before, but both of them went straight at the wall. So, I think thankfully for us, Palmer was unusually quiet, which is good for us. Arteta after the game said it didn't look good for Saka or Rice. What I say to that is we've got an international break now, so we've got 2 weeks for them to, and they're not on England duty, so they can rest and recover, and fingers crossed, hopefully they'll be back in time for the game in 2 weeks against Nottingham Forest.
Let's hope so, because we're going to need to be at our best against Forest, I believe. I mean, even in defeat, I'd say the first half, which I watched on Sunday, I think it was, they looked pretty good, and Newcastle must have dug very deep to get their win over there.
Yeah.
Just to say Sam's comment here, Arteta said after the game, it did not look good for either Saka or Rice. In fact, the player we're talking about as well, Palmer, is another one of those who've withdrawn as well. So, but I believe that's a long-standing issue. That's why he's not amongst the European squad for Chelsea, I think you'll find. So let's talk about the next chance that happened. And I'll give you a chance to shine a little bit, because I know you've got something to say on Neto. Neto causing problems on the left. Had a fantastic cross in. It was the right back who got on the end of it, whose header went over the bar.
That was a shocking miss. I'm surprised that didn't go in. If that was a striker, it would have probably. Do you know what? If Havertz got that header in, it probably would have gone in.
You took the line off me, Bart. I was going to say that myself.
Yeah. Nicholas Jackson as well. I mean, if it was any of those two, it'd have probably gone in. So,
I'd like you to give
good evening, Emerson.
Hello, Emerson. It's good to see you, buddy. Your chance to shine a little bit on Neto, because I know you have plenty to say on him.
Shall we get to when Chelsea equalise, and then I'll talk about Neto?
Okay, all right, then fair enough. Well, the next thing I've got written down on my notes is how Arsenal had their first opportunity of the game, really. And it all came down from something that Arsenal are accused of doing quite a lot as well, and that's playing around from the black and getting caught in the possession. And it was Saka who intercepted the pass, and the captain got involved doing sort of a little 1-2 with Saka. My voice is going. Then the shot came out, was rebounded. It came off Casado, and it ended up having a chance for Martinelli, who had one quick touch and a shot at Sanchez, who somehow get it away from on his left hand. I'll pause just for a second to say hello to one of our brand new subscribers. I've been reading seeing the last couple of videos. Stone cold fella, and he's an absolute looky-likey of the rattlesnake himself. Good guy. So go and check his channel out. You can probably click his little icon there. And yeah, it's great to see you. Thank you for joining our live. It's great to see you. So yes, the Martinelli shot, which I felt when you were doing your in-match tweets, you felt that maybe Martinelli should have been doing better with that shot.
We've seen it before. Martinelli is practically one-on-one, and he aims straight for the keeper. I believe this happened. Oh, was it against Tottenham? I can't remember. But it's happened before this season. Yeah. And it's happened again. And this isn't the first time we've seen that from Martinelli. Now, I'm not going to be as harsh on Martinelli as I will be on Trossard after that game. But I think Martinelli needs to stop aiming straight for the keeper. And I know this has been said by many people. He needs to actually look up when he tries to shoot, rather than have his head down. And it's bad when I'm trying to discuss eye contact with someone, when I'm not exactly the best communicator when it comes to that.
Oh, you better be harsh on yourself, mate. You're all good. You're all good. My counter argument to this, of course, is that it did come to him very, very quickly. Hello, Ross Morgan. It's great to see you
Ross.
here, as always, mate. It did come to him rather quick from the deflection of Casado. He did manage to control the shot, and he got the shot on target. And, it was, maybe I'll call it a little bit of a sighter for him, maybe. But it was an effort that did test the goalkeeper anyway. Just moving on. There was a moment where I thought a beautiful thing happened in front of the Chelsea fans, and that was the disallowed goal from Havertz. The quick free kick from Rice fell to Havertz, who prodded it in very nicely. It was a marginal offside, but a correct decision eventually given by VAR.
It was a nice move though, and I was whilst it would have been very nice to see Havertz scoring in front of the Chelsea fans again. The moment he scored, the camera immediately panned to all of the Chelsea players complaining to the referee about something. So I was thinking, hang on a minute, hold your horses. It's not. And it went to VAR, and it was offside. I've got no complaints about that. I think it was the correct decision. Havertz actually found the back of the net, albeit it was offside. But it makes a change compared to the last few games he's been playing in. I still rather have Chris Wood playing for us than Kai Havertz at the moment.
Really?
But look, it was offside and it was the right decision. That's all I can say about that.
That's interesting because you said about Chris Wood in your video on your channel. I really rate the guy. It's kind of interesting with Wood because he's kind of a late developer in Premier League terms. Certainly, what is he? 33, I think now. Something like that. I think
he's older actually. I mean,
is he older than that?
I don't think I would have never have dreamt of saying that last year, let alone all those years ago. But I think I got to give credit to him and to Forest because this season, albeit the game they had yesterday, they've been very impressive, and we play them next. So our fixtures are only getting tougher.
Oh, that's an interesting take because I actually think they're a lot of the tough fixtures we've gone through. Certainly, some of the
what I mean. We've got to face we've got to face another informed side. That's what I meant.
Yes, I know. I actually agree with that quite a bit. But credit to Wood.
He's actually younger. He's 32. I thought he was like 36. Okay. I thought he was like 35 or 36. But he's 32. All right.
So maybe there's still a chance for me to make my Premier League debut then.
Well, you are 24 years old, so you can do it. DDP started in his 30s at wrestling, so,
That's true.
It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing.
Exactly. Thank you very much for that reference. Let's go to the actual goal that counted, shall we? I enjoyed this one. I must admit, this VAR stuff does ruin the game a bit because I had to say, we've already had one to steady on, Lee. Thomas Partey winning the ball in midfield, setting up Ødegaard, whose beautiful chip over found Martinelli, who took a lovely touch, put it in the goalkeeper's near post. I would think Robert Sanchez would be quite upset with himself. But again, Martinelli thought he saw a gap, and he did. So he took his chance well there.
Yeah, I thought for a minute that was offside, but it turns out it was shocking defending, really, from I think it was Colwill, and it just left Martinelli in a big amount of space. It was only the keeper to beat, and he had all that space, and he got the ball in the net this time, and it's 1-0. I thought it was going to go to VAR again, but Colwill kept him onside, and Martinelli had all that space. So, quite a strange goal, but it was a welcome one at that time. And in the second half, we were winning 1-0 at Stamford Bridge. So, what could possibly go wrong from here, eh?
Absolutely, nothing at all would go wrong at all.
And I was
Oh,
pleased
wait.
for Martinelli because he needed that goal, especially when a lot of fans were on his back in that game, including myself when he missed that chance in the first half. But yeah, I'm pleased. I'm pleased he got the goal.
It's interesting, Posh, because I mean, there's arguments whether it's Martinelli plays or is it Trossard who plays, and it's funny, right? Because I had my doubts on Trossard beforehand. Then I had doing this, what we do. I took a little bit of a step back. I watch what he does. What I think he does is offers something very different. He's a very technical player. That's what I thought he could play.
This was pre-Chelsea game when he's on the wing. That is,
but he's got that technical ability and he can get past a player. What Martinelli is more direct. He's got a fair bit of sprinting power with him. We saw that in the goal there as well. And as you said, but people, to go back on myself, and people will have their favourite, which one they want to play. That's how it is. I think we're kind of lucky to have two very good players fighting for positions. However, we'll get a bit more on Trossard in a little bit. What could go wrong? Well, the equaliser, unfortunately. I think it was about 68 minutes or so about 8 minutes after we scored. Enzo Fernandez was introduced to the play. If I'm remembering correctly, I think we rather got caught on the break a little bit because it felt like our defensive setup was all a bit mixed up and wrong. And his pass to Neto let fly. Again, maybe Raya will be a little bit upset because it wasn't really in a corner as such, but they attacked us on the break at pace. And 1-1. Your thoughts, sir?
Yes, well, I think you know my thoughts on Pedro Neto. I said way back during the Euros. I think even back before then, I would have had him as a target of mine at Arsenal. As how you say when Martinelli switches places with Trossard, Neto would be the one to switch places with Saka if need be. And I know people were concerned about his injury record, but A, he would have been the backup player, and B, let's be honest, right? We have had injuries to Odegaard, Saka, Timber, Ben White, many others, Marino, and if you compare Pedro Neto and his injury record this season, he hasn't been injured. So it's quite funny how these things turn out. But yeah, I know you'd probably say, oh, he would have been too expensive for a backup, but I think it would have been worth it. And Pedro Neto is an excellent player when he's fit, of course, and he has been fit all season so far. And yeah, I think he should have been the player that we would have signed rather than the fall in Sterling.
Right.
So
Fair
that's
enough.
a financial pun there. Look at that.
I got it. Posh. Thanks for explaining it too. It might surprise you to say, do you know what, Peter? Part of me really quite agrees with some of that statement. I've always said that Neto's ability was always good. I always felt that. I did think it may be a bit difficult doing the deal. Chelsea did the deal. Neto's had the game time, although he hasn't. I think he's only recently just got into a first 11 position for Chelsea. I think he's only come into that within the last few matches and stuff. But he's done well, and he would have been a good fit, Posh. Yeah, I got no qualms about saying that at all.
It is great to see Mr. AFC always in the chat. I hate that Liverpool are making the league look easy in phase 1 of slots, making Arteta look silly. Yes, it wasn't a good evening for Unai Emery as Liverpool beat Villa, and I believe 9 points clear at the top at the moment. We'll see what happens there, but Slot is doing well at the moment.
He's had a good start. He has had a good start. We're also only in November. I don't think they're going to continue up their pace as they are, but they've made a phenomenal start.
We'll see. They weren't. I thought that they weren't at their absolute best against us. Mind you, we were. But yeah. But that's one game, so I don't know really. He's doing well at the moment. That's all I can say there. And yes, good evening to you too, AFC always.
Always great to see you in the chat, mate. So yeah, I know what you mean. It's frustrating. That's what it is. It's frustration coming out from fans who want success here and now. Look, what I will say is, all is not lost, people. Let's just. I know your feelings are strong on one Mikel Arteta, especially you, sir. I know, but let's just see how this one pans out. I don't think. I'm sort of saying this a little bit earlier than I was going to, but although we have dropped points here at the bridge, it's not a terrible result, getting a draw. However, it isn't the result that Arsenal needed to keep up with the pace setters. I agree on that front. However, we shall see how we get on. I tell you what is interesting, with the league panning as it is, and yeah, you're all very right. You're all very right in saying it's going to be difficult. Be interesting to get this international break out the way, and international breaks again. It does my head.
I don't mind it this time, based on how based on some of our recent results. I quite welcome it, to be honest.
At least I won't have to worry what you're doing on Twitter, mate. I can say.
No, because I will not be watching England. There's no Tuchel's not managing. He's not managing until January.
No, that's correct. That is absolutely correct. So it's the last one in the caretaker reign of, help me, Posh. I can't remember his name.
Lee Carsley.
Lee Carsley. Thank you very much. So we'll see how that gets on. I mean, at the rate that people are dropping out, I'll be playing, and so I'm sure that'll go.
Musician,
really well.
Footballer, he's got it all.
Absolutely, entertainer, YouTuber,
footballer. The three faces of Meadows.
That's it. Absolutely, what everyone wants to see. Right. Let's get back to serious business and how Arsenal could and should have won the game. Last kick of the game as well. So eventually, I think Trossard's involved in the play actually to get this into a position. Saliba, of all people, were attacking up on the left wing. He gets the cross in, and had Trossard not touched it, I am about 99% sure it would have fallen to Havertz, and I'm almost certain he would have scored.
Would Havertz have scored it?
No, yes, he would. It
yes.
was meant to be.
If he could score Gusto's chance, he probably would have done it in the last minute.
So he got in the way a little bit.
There's another chance from Trossard that you missed where he had a rebound and he just thought he was playing rugby instead and just sent it into Rosette.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I was. I've been a Trossard fan, especially last season, and I think you've agreed with me on that. In this game, he frustrated me. I think most of this season, with the sending off, and I know playing in the 10 is not his strongest point.
Yeah.
And I would have rather, I'm going to say it, I would have rather Wanyeri played in the 10 rather than Trossard. He's a better winger than he is an attacking midfielder. But yeah, I can't. But he was a winger yesterday, and I can't defend him. I cannot. I'm not turning on him very quickly like some fans are and demanding he should be sold because we know that Trossard is the big game player that we know he can be, and he can still be there. He's got to play on the wing to do that, though.
Yeah.
And also, and this depends on Mr. Arteta releasing the shackles from the players once again, because he's restricting them, and he has done so in the past few games. Grandpa Tross Says AFC always. He's not that old. He's only like 30.
It's the silver hair that does it.
It is, yes. I tell you what, what's happened to him. I think Arteta's restricting a lot of our players. We used to be the team of free-flowing football. Even under Arteta, we were once like that 2 seasons ago. We just need to stop, playing like Stoke and play like, Arsenal. Let's be more attacking.
Yeah, okay. There's the Stoke reference again. Look, I know what you're saying. I tell you why. Some of our rhythm hasn't been there because some of our best players haven't been there, and yeah, of course, there's been a big call for Ethan to come in again. Without saying, how can I say? He's up the guy is only 17. And he had good half hour in the Champions League. He had difficult to, it was difficult for him to make an impact, and it's kind of difficult when you're that young of an age to make an impact in the game, and it can very easily affect your confidence. We see what a confident lad he has been. You see how he's done in the cup competition, right? And he was brilliant the other night. But I do think he is being protected a little bit. That's just my thoughts. Whether you like it or not, I think he will be used more in them cup competitions and keep using him as in that cameo kind of role, because I think he wants to be careful with them. Just my thoughts.
Yeah, I do understand, but yeah.
It might have been an opportunity for him, Posh. I know what you're going to say.
I do. I'm just looking back at the Southampton game, for example. That would have been the perfect time for him to get his first start in the Premier League. But yeah, that's all I can say on Munieri. Really, he didn't get a chance to be on the pitch.
Yeah.
I at least attacking midfielder. At least I think, anyway, is his natural position, as opposed to Trossard, where the number 10 is not his natural position. He's a winger. So, yeah.
What will be interesting to see is how Ethan gets on. If I believe he's in the England under 21 squad, it'll be interesting to see how he gets on in his age group, kind of thing. With the England side, and 1-1 is how it finished. We should have won it all at the end. Like I said, wasn't a perfect result. It's not a terrible result, but and obviously it's going to sound really obvious. We do need to start winning games again. That's pretty obvious. Let's hope that can start up again when we start up again in the Nottingham Forest game. I think that's how I'd sum it.
You're not going to like this, but I believe we are out of the title race.
You can have an opinion, Posh. It's allowed.
How many are we? Let me have a look at the league table. How many points are we off first?
I think it's 8. I think off the top of my head. Is it 8 or 9? It might be 9.
And this is how tired I am. I kept saying that Arsenal versus Chelsea was yesterday. It was 2 days ago.
I wasn't going to pull you up.
It wasn't Monday Night Football. We are 9 points behind Liverpool in first. Liverpool are 5 points clear at the top. And there's a 4-point difference between 3rd and 13th. By the way, in the Premier League. So,
which kind of emphasises my point that we need to start winning the games.
Absolutely.
It's interesting, isn't it, how that league table looks, and it's still relatively early on, because it seems like Pep's getting a free pass, despite the fact he's lost several back-to-back games himself.
Well, we're not Man City fans. I don't know what the Man City fans are saying about Pep, but I can imagine after losing 4 in a row, they are not best pleased, and they're going to probably be saying the same thing if they're going to want to go 5 in a row. But I don't speak for Man City, so I don't know.
I just thought it's something to say. It's an interesting thing.
I do understand.
And that's what's making this league season very interesting, because you've had Man City having a dip. You've had Forest starting extraordinarily well, and credit to them as well. Arsenal having a stuttering start, and then you got things like maybe Tottenham will go and do something, and they go and lose to Ipswich. And talking of Tottenham, I will give Harry Scarf a plug at this point because I'm appearing on Harry's podcast tomorrow evening. So that's something I'm looking forward to. I will put, obviously, a link on our Twitter page or X page tomorrow for that one. Anything else you want to say about the Chelsea game?
Mikel Arteta is undefeated at Stamford Bridge. Fun fact, ever since he became Arsenal manager, but that's not a trophy, isn't it? It's just an interesting stat that I find quite fascinating.
Maybe we should release a DVD on that.
Absolutely, yeah. All for nothing.
That is interesting. That is interesting. So let's touch on anything else that has been going on. Maybe so we'll sort of leave the Chelsea game behind for now. I'd love to know your opinion, as we like talking about referees. There's one referee that has been in a bit of trouble over the last 24 hours or so. One, David Coote. There's a sort of a video that's gone a little bit viral. Not talking about Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp in perhaps the most glowing of words. Don't think there's any coming back from his actions. I won't exactly use the language that he's used because obviously we are very PG here, or at least we attempt to be. But it's quite extraordinary what's come out over the last day or so.
Yeah, look, I'll be honest with you. I've not been on X the past few hours. Well, majority of today, really. I've been very busy. So I do know of the David Coote incident.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look good for him.
No.
Yeah. So I don't know. Is he suspended or is he permanently?
Yeah,
you're out of here.
He's suspended currently. He's not expected to take charge of any of the games over the international break, pending an investigation on that. I mean, there are some reports saying this whole video is a bit of a fake AI thing, and I don't know how you can get that clever about it. I don't know the technology, but we'll see how it develops. Is there anything else I need to report on without having my laptop in front of me? I don't think there is. I will say this for the channel. Expect tomorrow a report on how the Arsenal women got on in Italy against Juventus. If you're not aware of it yet and you want me to avoid the score, I won't say it right now. Again, there will be another video up for the match that is going on right this second, about 20 miles down the road from where I am right now, at Colchester United Stadium in the Bristol Street Trophy thing. There's another comment there from AFC Always. Remember David Rocky Roadcastle's quote, remember who you are and who you represent, and those players aren't showing that.
It's like that photo of that little kid with the sign that said, I don't want your shirt, I want you to fight for yours, or something like that.
Fight for the rights of every man. I'm not sure there's a better way to finish our live stream than that quote, unless there's anything else you want to tell us about.
I'm trying to find the post, but I can't. But I don't know how reliable this transfer source is, because it's not Fabrizio and it's not Ornstein. But there was something about how William Saliba has been keenly interested in going to Real Madrid next season, and that Real Madrid might put in a bid for him. Now, I don't know how reliable this is, but I wouldn't put it past it happening next season, especially if we go trophyless again. Because we know that Saliba is an amazing defender for us. He is incredible. I can't praise him enough. And a player like him, if we go trophyless, and this can apply to a couple of other our players as well, he'll go, why am I wasting my time here not winning anything when I can go to a better club and have, be a bit more of a winner?
Right.
It's not an unrealistic thing to say that Saliba might go to Real Madrid next season if we don't win anything. I'm not certain. And this could be a false rumor, but I'm just putting it out there. If we don't win any silverware very soon, the good players will start to consider their options.
It's not the first time I've heard that rumor, to be honest with you. And yeah, you're probably somewhat right in saying that, about the trophy thing. Last time I checked, we're still very much in the Champions League, despite what happened in the midweek. This format, I'll say this just on record with you guys, that I find this whole.
I hate it.
I hate the way this is planning out. I think it's awful complicated.
It's the Super League. It's the Super League.
Yeah.
But,
when you're old and going slightly hairless like I am, it's very, very difficult to figure out what is going on. But I don't like it. But there you go. That's just me. Other people might like it. You guys in the chat might like it. Maybe someone who's got sort of maybe broader views on it. Hey, if it's your thing, great. But I find it complicated. We're still very much in the League Cup. That's a game to look forward to.
Yes,
looking forward
absolutely.
to the Crystal Palace League tie, especially on that night when Eddie Nketiah gets a start at the Emirates and then goes. Can you just imagine that scenario?
Nketiah and Holding.
Oh no, I can just see it now. I can just see the meltdown now.
You think that's gonna be frightening? Just you wait till the Fulham game.
Yeah. Arsenal cast-offs against Arsenal.
Oh yeah.
I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that at all. I just briefly on that because I might get heat on that. It is nice seeing Emil Smith Rowe. It's nice seeing Iwobi doing ever so well. Being captained by old Leno as well. They fair play.
Yeah, it's a shame that second goal that Smith Rowe scored was offside.
It was
but
beauty, wasn't it?
He's turning into a very good player. And in terms of Iwobi and Nelson, I would rather that one of them was in the squad than Sterling. I stand by that.
Well, look, that's fair. I know Sterling's not made the instant impact everyone wanted. He has made a bit of a difference in the cup competition. I'll say that much. And in the times that he's had about there, but he's not had the impact yet. Maybe it will come. But perhaps some might say, the fact he never got any minutes against Inter Milan might suggest it might suggest something.
Or Liverpool. I don't think.
Right.
Did he even play against Newcastle? He's not got any. Obviously, he couldn't play against Chelsea because of the loan rules. But he's not. Yeah, has Arteta given up on him already? Don't blame him if he has. But
we'll see. We'll see.
Something could have signed Neto. Could have kept Nelson.
Absolutely. Hey, who knows? He might even play against Forest if Saka's got a bad problem here.
God.
Okay, I thought I might have given you a bit of live commentary there, but I won't. I'll save it. Yeah, I think that will just about do us for today, Posh, won't it, mate? Until next time, because it is getting late. I need to get my little girl ready for bed. Because Mummy's at work tonight, so I do need to get going. So what I will do is press that button there. I've missed being in control of these buttons. So Posh, floor is yours. Where can they find you, sir?
Well, I'm sure you know by now. You can find me on Twitter or X at Posh Bertie, where I'm an extremely level-headed individual with lots of interesting Arsenal opinions, and I am right on most occasions. I stand by them.
Well.
You can find me on Instagram at Bertie Wanless, and I also run Gooner Gathering's Instagram account, which is at Gooner Gathering, where we watch Arsenal, so you don't have to.
Thank you very much for being here this evening, Posh. It's been nice having you back on the live. You can find me, of course, at Goonerly Meads on X. You can find us at Gooner Gathering as well. And don't forget to check out the clips. Next time we do a live game, you'll probably see some fun TikTok clips come out of that. But that is it for us for today. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Take care of yourselves. And we're out of here. You look like you're about to say something, Posh.
I was going to say, Edu out. Oh, wait, it's already happened.
Oh,